it's so interesting when you realize that being with narcissists, it's interesting because you start to realize that once you start to break free, or you wake up to the fact that some family members and friends are narcissists, and that you've spent most of your time dealing with their problems, helping them through their issues, that your whole life basically revolved around them. And even if something drastic happens in your life where, like a big thing, you're not even focused enough on your world, and you're focused still on theirs. Like, they still take priority over your own world. They take priority with themselves for their life, and they expect you to prioritize them and their life over yours. And you do the same. You expect to prioritize their life over yours. And so all the energy and attention, your energy and attention, is towards them. And when it comes to you, you're like, it's okay, I can deal with mine. I don't need help in that. So it feels like it's easier to deal with them and their problems. However, I always say this in my workshops, your mental mind is occupied by them 99%. Okay, let's say 98% or 95%, right? Your whole energetic being, your thoughts, your concerns, even the beliefs you have within you that maybe you're working through, everything has to do with them and hardly ever to do with you. I'm saying this because you will have a few percentages where it's about you. You need the bathroom, you need to feed yourself. What other things? What else is this percentage for? Very minimal, like you got to go work, you got to pay your bills, like whatever, like very basic, but it's just really like the basics of life. But everything, it's as if you're consumed by, oh my God, I want to solve their problem. Oh, I have to teach them this. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, they have to do this. Oh, 24 hours a day. This is what you are. So once you actually leave these relationships, once you detach, once you figure it out and you start to really do the work where it's like you keep pulling your energy back to you, you keep bringing your energy back to yourself, what happens is, and you're not dealing with them as much, and you've really chosen not to spend that much time, now you start to receive more, like they may start to receive only 50% of your energy, and then it keeps going down to 45 and 30. What happens is you start to notice that your life seems kind of empty and a little boring. Bear with me. It's because they were stimulating your flight, fight, or freeze consistently, which made you feel full of life and alive because you had problems to solve, issues to think of. Even if they're not around, you're thinking of them, you're solving them. They've been like, let's say they gave you the silent treatment. Now you're fully occupied wondering, oh, what did I do wrong? How can I fix this? It must have been my fault, right? So you are constantly with them and attached energetically to them, even if they are not speaking to you, even if they've gaslighted you, whatever it is, especially stonewalling and silent treatment, right? You're fully occupied. They're running off doing their thing. They don't give a hoot. They aren't even thinking of you, but you're completely occupied. You're going out with your friends, but they're always there in the back of your mind. You're always thinking of them. You probably I remember a few friends that I can't be around at all, that once they're in these relationships, that's all they talk about. Like I was like that too. And I was in these relationships, that's all I could talk about. It's like they're everywhere inside of you and around you, and that's all you think of. They're just constantly here. They're constantly in your mind. So you can't have normal conversations with your friends because whatever the topic is, even if you're going to talk about books or things you enjoy, because there's so much there, the topic always goes back to the narc, either your partner, your friend, or the coworker, or your parent. Like, it'll always go back there. That's how much energy they occupy in you, because you don't know what it's like to just care for you. It doesn't exist. It doesn't even make sense. So it feels really empty when there's more space, because you're still learning what to do with the space. What does it mean for self-love? Like, it's so easy to to go out of your way for someone. It's so easy to just be there for them, because you're used to being in a state of having problems to solve, and you are the problem solver. And that's why a lot of us end up becoming healers or life coaches and all this, because there's like this addiction to solving people's problems, right? And in that domain, it feels safer, because it's like, well, they're not my friends. I don't have to think about them 24 hours a day, and it's just a session and it's done. But I can still do what I enjoy doing, which is what I'm used to, which is solving other people's problems. And then when you sit with yourself, you start to realize that the way your mind starts to work, it starts to create problems for you to solve. Very interesting. So you start to, like, now that they're not there, you're like, oh, what will I do? Who am I? Oh, I have to figure out myself. So you start to create problems about you so that you can solve it, and start to create problems in your world so that you can start to solve it, because that's the way in which the pattern that you're used to, the program that you were handed over and you believe to be true, that you are a problem solver and you're great at it. So let's do this for a living. Let's do this with my world. Let me create problems. Let me do this, because this is what feels safe. It's always external, right? But then even when you wake up from that and you decide, well, that's not something I want to do anymore. Like, I don't want to live in a problem solution world anymore. That's when it gets really empty, internally and externally. And you're like, okay. And that's okay. This is the best part, and you're going to be there for some time. It's because the nervous system doesn't know how to relax, right? It doesn't understand what that means. It feels boring, yet it isn't. It's actual stillness, it's peace, and it's silence, and it's a place of like serenity. But because you've never tasted that, it just doesn't feel like you're alive, right? It's interesting, right? You think you're fully alive when you're in contact and in those relationships and dealing with those problems. That's when you feel fully alive, because you feel like you have a purpose, right? You feel like you have a purpose. That's why a lot of empaths you speak to, you're like, well, my purpose is to help people to feel better, to heal them, to this, to that, because without that, you feel purposeless, right? And when I've shared on several videos what happens when you take a break from healing others or healing yourself, especially, what happens then, right? I get a lot of responses and comments back saying, it's terrifying because it's boring and I don't know what to do, and there's nothing else. Like, this is what I'm used to. So when you were with narcissists, you're used to helping them solve their problems, and you have a problem because they have a problem, and you're the problem, and you're solving all these nonsense issues. And then you get out of that and you're like, that's it, I'm free, but I'm really good at solving problems now. And I don't know how to do anything without that. Let me figure out what problems I have and let's fix it. Now I'm focusing on me. This is what I call focusing on me. Focusing on me is solving my problems now. I just have to find problems to solve. So you start doing that and you go through the rabbit hole of like inner healing and self-healing and all of that stuff, because you're like looking for problems. Like, how can I fix me? I'm used to fixing the narcs, and it never finding a solution. But like there's like one moment after moment solution. Now I got to do it for me. So let's find all the problems, right? And do the healing for years on end, rabbit hole. But it feels like a purpose, right? My purpose is to solve problems. And then I come along and I say, stop it. Don't do it for a week. Don't do it for 2 weeks, right? Get out of this whole helping yourself and healing yourself. You start to itch. It's like an addiction. It's like, but then who am I if I'm not that? What is my purpose then? That I'm a problem solver. I can decipher. I can help. I can, I have to work on myself. I have to perfect myself, right? Which is also the same rabbit hole of what you try to do with the narcissists. Try to make them good. You try to fix them. You try to help them so that you can feel safe. Same thing. There is no difference, right? And then you decide, oh, this is what I'm going to do for a career. This is what I can do great with a career, because I could solve problems. So then you start getting clients and they have problems and you're like, you're really good at it, right? Because this is how you existed. But then again, it's somebody else's energy. And there's somewhere there that it's the fear of being bored and fear of not having a purpose. It's because of all the space that you start to have that you don't know what to do with it. But give yourself a chance, an opportunity. Take those 2 weeks off, helping anyone or helping yourself. 2 weeks off. Take it to 3 weeks. Take it to a month. It's not a big deal. It's a month of your whole life. Sit with that boredom, right? And every time there's the whole addiction of like, oh, but I'm getting those feelings. I hate my feelings. I have to work through them. I have to fix them. I can't feel this way. Be like, there's nothing to fix. They're just there, and they're not wrong or right. And let it pass, because then it feels really exciting to have something to do. And then you'll start to notice that there are other things in life you can do outside of problem solving, healing, fixing, rushing after your purpose, and your purpose is to help and heal everyone. That is only a trauma-based space, right? That's why I say give yourself this freedom to take a break from it all, even helping or healing yourself, because that is a cycle, right? This is all that you know. Anyway, I hope this is making sense. I love you all deeply and dearly, and this was actually triggered by the comments that were written in one of the episodes that we were talking about, me and Mel, actually, one of our episodes about covert narcissist versus empath, like, you know, the difference between them and why one gets confused. So anyway, and actually, if you want more about narcissists and empath from a different perspective, you can go to our playlist, Expand Past Narcissists. So that's a great playlist to go watch. Anyway, I love you all so deeply. If you feel that, if you want to support us and to continue the contents that we have here and support us building a platform that we're working on, we have a Buy Me a Coffee account, which we call it Buy Me a Cup of Love. And it really does help us in so many ways you have no idea. And go down to the description, you'll find a whole bunch of lovely things. We have freebies there. We have my books, which are very interesting and exciting. You'll probably, regarding this specific episode, you'll probably like the Happily Ever After, my book about narcissism, and it's in a novel, so it's in a story form, and it's my true story. Anyway, I love you all so much. Take care of yourselves, and remember that you're allowed to be 100% free of problems and solving problems, and 100% free of being fully occupied by narcissists or your own healing, fixing yourself all the time. Okay, I love you. Bye.